Hi, I'm Danielle Allen. I sing for Offsides from Connecticut, in the States.
Cool. So what brings you to Montreal?
We are on a 2-week tour right now with No Harm Done, and we played Montreal before. We loved it, so we're playing again.
Talk about some of the bands coming up. And
Connecticut's like very up and down as far as hardcore goes, and there's like certain bands that are coming out that are really good. Like we have bands like Fired Up and Ambitions, bands like Hostage that are playing something that isn't what's normally coming out of Connecticut, like a lot of the tougher hardcore bands. But as far as like newer bands coming out, there isn't a whole lot outside of like the tough guy hardcore scene, which is like, it sucks because like Ambitions is breaking up, Fired Up isn't the most active band anymore, so there isn't a whole lot of options for those people who are not into like 100 Demon style hardcore.
What do you think Connecticut has so many tough guy bands? What is there about Connecticut?
I don't know, something in the water maybe. It makes no sense to me.
Is it a rough place though?
It's not. Like there are areas, of course, but Connecticut's one of the wealthiest states in the United States. Like,
okay,
it doesn't really make sense.
What kind of values do you guys represent or own up to, or?
We're like a somewhat political band. We're not outspoken at all, but like we're not a straight edge band. We're not a vegan, vegetarian band, but we have members that all our members are pretty much, and it comes through in our lyrics a little bit. And I'm very into human rights, and if you read our lyrics, a lot of stuff is about things like the crisis in Darfur right now, and certain things going on in Africa, and just things like that. And I don't know. Yeah.
And a fun side too?
Yes, of course there's a fun side.
Okay.
I don't know, we just have fun. It's fun to be able to do a girl-fronted band and get to explore like the fun things as far as covers go with stuff like that, and just kind of like have fun with doing something that's not normally done.
Yeah. How is it being a girl in hardcore and in a band?
Oh, it's loads of fun. I don't know. It's a cool experience because I get to meet a lot of girls who don't normally see girls in bands, and they think it's awesome, and it gets them more motivated to do stuff on their own. But then there's also like a lot of negative sides where people automatically write off the band because it's girl fronted, and they assume like, oh, like I hate girls and like hardcore and girls' voices suck, which like I understand because there are a lot of girl fronted bands that I can't even listen to. But like, I don't know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
There's always going to be the haters.
Yeah, and being tough in Connecticut.
Yeah, we're not, I don't know, Connecticut isn't exactly the scene that likes us a whole lot just because like they're not that accepting.
Yeah, so what do you guys do during your free time?
I would go to college right now, and we mainly just work and go to school. And
what do you major in?
I am a history and human rights major, and don't ask me what I'm going to do with it. I have no idea whatsoever, but
it's fun.
It's fun. I love history.
Yeah,
so.
It's cool. What history? What periods?
I love American history, especially the Civil War. I'm a really big Civil War nerd.
Okay.
But I like American history a lot, and then pretty much anything that has to do with like colonialism, and especially like Africa, that general region.
Are you into reenactment of the Civil War and stuff like that?
I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
I'm kind of that nerdy. It's crossed my mind there. I would like to ideally work at either a museum or somewhere that's like a reenactment type place, like a working farm or working colonial town or something like that, and get to dress up every day and be really
Have you been to one of those
Oh, I have.
Yeah? Tell me about it, because I don't even know about that.
It's like it's awesome. Like everybody's dressed up. You like can't like break character at all. Like you can go to town, like there's like the towns that are completely done in colonial times where like everybody's dressed up in colonial times and they're all like actually working and like milking cows, and there's like Civil War reenactments where like they all actually pretend they're in the Civil War. They like only eat, like all their clothing has to be like clothing that was made like it was in the Civil War, and people are really crazy about it. Like they get mad if people do not follow the guidelines. It's really intense.
I've seen it on its own. Yeah,
it is.
Are you trying to bridge both of them?
No. The reenactment scene's a little too crazy for me. I'm a nerd, but I'm not that nerdy.
Okay. That's the most memorable experience so far.
I don't really know. We had, like, as far as fun experiences go, we got to, when we last tour, we got to play Florida, and after the show ended, Bike Week was going on across the street, and there was this cover band playing that, like, no one was really paying attention to, and we're all, like, loading up the van, and one of the guys was like, oh, man, if they play Lit, like, I'm totally gonna go over there and take the mic, and, like, 30 seconds later, they start playing Lit, so, like, 30 hardcore kids, like, run over to this, like, bikers, like, this group of bikers, and we, like, take the mic, and we take over this cover band set, basically, and we gotta sing everything. But as far as like positive experiences in hardcore, I guess it's just cool to be able to do a girl-fronted band and hear people come up to me and be like, yeah, I've like never even seen a girl in a band, like that's awesome, and get to have a positive influence on girls. And like I have a lot of friends that are now like, because I'm doing a band, they're getting more motivated to do bands themselves, which is awesome.
What sketchy experiences that happened?
Oh, sketchy experiences.
One or two, you know, like.
Well, there's always the people who will tell me they will book me a show if I hook up with them.
Oh.
There's fun things like that, or I don't know. It's all the normal guy stuff that happens.
On the scene, you come into hardcore scene. Some of the ideas you had about it, and what's some of the downfalls of it?
Well, hardcore, I mean, like, as I've gotten older, my ideas about hardcore have definitely changed, because when I was younger and, like, I didn't know as many people and I didn't know much about it, like, I was just, like, I went to every show, I loved it all, like, nobody could do any wrong whatsoever, and as I've gotten older and had a lot more experiences with it, and also a lot more experiences with the guys in hardcore, and just the way that, not everybody, definitely not everybody, but some of them treat women, and just the negative aspects of that, it definitely has like made me rethink what bands I like and what bands I support, and just like how I approach hardcore in general.
What's your opinion on Hatebreed?
Hatebreed is like a guilty pleasure. I mean, I'm from Connecticut. I kind of have to like them. It's one of those rules. But I don't know. I'm tough guy hardcore. Like, there are some bands I like, but for the most part, that's not really my scene at all.
Yeah.
It's just like I can't really relate to it. I mean, I was raised like in a middle class suburb.
Okay.
Like, it's just. To me, like, hardcore, like, the reasons I got into hardcore were not because I'm tough, and, like, I'm, like, the least tough person ever. I like to read a book and, like, sit by the fire. Like, I don't know, it's, that scene does not relate to me at all.
Some of the bands you listen to, like, growing up and you still listen to today?
Oh, God, I love, Kill Your Idols is, like, my all-time favorite band. Like, that was one of the first hardcore bands I saw when I was getting into hardcore. Like, they were my first stage dive. They were, like, everything. They kind of like popped my hardcore cherry. Like, they mean everything to me. All their lyrics, they're one of those bands that just like, you could go there and feel completely accepted no matter who you were, but like Minor Threat had a lot of influence on me growing up. Pretty much like that all those youth group bands, Judge, Minor Threat, Gorilla Biscuits, and then like just, I don't know, like right now I love Painted Black a lot. They do a lot of great things for hardcore, and they totally embody everything I love in hardcore.
Outside of hardcore, any bands you listen to heavily?
Oh, outside of hardcore?
I mean, anything.
I love like 90s alternative rock a lot, like Gin Blossoms and all those bands, and then like I have the girly hardcore that I love, or girly, not hardcore, girly bands, like I love Pat Benatar, I love Kelly Clarkson.
Any covers of that on the show?
We're actually considering doing a No Doubt cover for Significant Fest. I'm really trying to push it, so I'm hoping that happens.
Okay. Recording-wise, you guys recording albums?
We just, July 22nd, we have a new album coming out, The Struggle to Communicate. It's on Get Out of Town Records. It's really awesome. It's kind of different than all of our previous stuff. We got a new guitarist. It's like, it's just a lot better. I'm really, really proud of it.
Traveling in a van, how many people in the van?
There is 7 people in the van. Every seat is taken.
And being a girl?
It's fun.
Okay.
Like, all the guys, I mean, I've seen everybody naked.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of fun. www.myspace.com/offsidesct.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.